going to say we are live. Hello, everybody. I usually do this before the festive season, but I haven't been able to get round to anything lately very much. But I didn't want to miss. Hang on a minute, let's turn this music down. Right. I didn't want to miss this year because we're all well. So I hope everybody else is well and have had a lovely little holiday. Probably some of you, perhaps no holiday much at all, depending on your jobs and occupations. But I'm here now while I have 5 minutes free, because I haven't had many free 5 minutes lately. So my streaming has been a bit sparse and itty bitty. Don't know why, really. Well, I do in a way, I think. My husband, as soon as he's not really doing much, he will come up and fiddle about. At least I get a cup of coffee out of it, if nothing else. So I mustn't be too ungrateful. I would just like to say I hope you all had a nice a couple of days, and with friends, family, whoever, hopefully. And we've got another little holiday coming up, haven't we, in a couple of days? So we will all sit and eat and possibly drink whatever beverages are available. And hopefully we'll be able to sit back and put our feet up. And myself, not so much. I nearly put my feet up every day. But for all of you hardworking people out there, please have a rest. Please put your feet up. Please have a drink and plenty to eat. And we will just cheer the new year in. And hopefully, well, I don't know. I'm not going to have a downer on anything, but everything is in such a mess at the moment that you've got to find a little bit of cheer and happiness wherever you can, I think. And let's hope that's with family and friends. I am myself not going to do anything much different. I mean, we've seen some of the family, but most of it now is everybody's got their own thing to do, and just let them get on and do it, eh? So please look after yourselves, everyone. I will try and do some streaming when I can. I'm dodging about at the moment with games. I cannot seem to settle to anything much. This is how I go. I get a new game, I go crazy mad for it. And then halfway, 3/4 of the way through, I get so fed up with it, I just don't do it anymore, which is not good. Hello, Hans Paul. Hello, Hans Paul. I had a very nice Christmas. Yes, thank you. It was quiet. I saw 2 or 3 of the family, but we decided to sort of more or less do our own thing. Sometimes it's difficult to, you have to please one and then you don't please another. So, I've got to the stage now where I say, we will stay here. We will either come over to you for a couple of hours after dinner or before dinner or whatever, open a few prezzies. And in a way, I'm glad now it's over, because I was beginning to get a bit stressed out with it all. I'm getting of an age now where I am not so good at going round and present buying and things. So I just worry, that people might have thought it's a wrong thing to think, I know, but people might have thought they were okay with, presents and that from myself. And I didn't do that much. But Christmas is not always about giving everybody presents. I am not much for that side of Christmas, for, the churchy stuff. But I do really firmly believe that it does get out of hand. But then everything's got out of hand nowadays, hasn't it? And you do sometimes think whatever's coming in 2024, but we hope it will be a reasonable year. You cannot say more than that. As I say, with everything going on around everywhere, things are going to get worse before they get better, as the saying goes. So it's all over for another year. And we would just sort of, pick ourselves up and carry on and hopefully see another year through. But as I've said, whether or not I can get enough time to, come on and do some streaming, I'm looking at some games that might possibly be coming out, but I think I'm getting a bit old and picky now. I cannot see things I like as much as I used to when I was a little bit younger. I would more or less buy anything and give it a go. But there you go. Anyway, we are all well, we are all very healthy, I think, and we are all just going to proceed with another year. And I do so hope you all can do the same and you have as much happiness in 2024 as anybody ever can. I hope that for everybody. And all I can say now is I'm sorry if I've gone on a bit, but I can sit and talk too much, I know. Anyway, I will try and get on and do some streaming at some point. But at the moment, I've got my husband's just gone out for a bit, but he now has finished work for the day. And I hope he soon come back because I want a cup of coffee. No, I can make my own. Mustn't be lazy. I've just been out around in the town now. My daughter texted me and said, the weather is going to be dreadful tomorrow, so please don't go out. If you want shopping, do it now, or I'll do it for you. She's very good, really. She worries too much. So I went out and I done some extra shopping, and there you go. That's what I've done. So I will look at the mess behind me, honestly. Oh, Hans Paul, you are lovely. Yo. Oh, damn onion. Oh man. Yes. There is a thing about what you can do to stop yourself crying when you're doing onions, but I can't remember what it is. Anyway, good spirits that is the key, isn't it, Hans Paul? Good spirits is what we all need to keep in mind. And I suppose, I hope I'm always in good spirits. I might get a bit grumpy at times, but that's only with my husband, Do you not get, I don't know, the longer you go along together, the grumpier you seem to get. But I mustn't complain. I'm lucky I still have a husband with me. At our age, it's It's no, it is a good thing. Anyway, I have to go, don't I? Otherwise, I'm going to sit here talking a load of tosh, and I'm going to try and find something to do. I'm looking through some of my older games and playing them at the moment. I think I did stream it the other day. I went back to Elden Ring. Come on, get your teeth in, gal. And I'm sort of going through that again. And I also picked up the latest Final Fantasy one that came out some time ago. And I know I started playing that, and then for some reason it must have been a day when I wasn't very happy with it. Yeah. Stick your tongue out while you cut. Is that a good tip? Wearing goggles. Yes. Yeah. Perhaps that's what it is. Perhaps that's what I've heard, wearing goggles. Do you know what? Does it matter if you look like an idiot as long as you stop crying? Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, I've really gone. I'm trying to think the last time I peeled an onion. No, actually, not that long ago, because I made my husband some sandwiches, and I peeled an onion then to put in them. But my cooking has got very sparse as the time's gone on. I bought one of those air fryer doodads. And I suppose because I'm so used to cooking another way, everybody was saying how marvelous they are. And I thought, oh, blow this. Stuff didn't seem to come out like they reckoned it would. I am getting used to it now. I was going to give it to my daughter, but she goes, I haven't got any room in my kitchen. She's got all sorts of gadgets along on her top. Otherwise, she would have had it. So I'm persevering with it. So between that and the microwave, that's my limit of cooking. Just chuck something in somewhere, and at least there's not so much washing up to do. Not like if you're cooking the oven and you've got all the oven stuff to wash out. Sticking the tongue out's supposed to help for real. Is it really? No, you're having me on, Hans Paul. I can't stick your tongue out. Perhaps I should try that the next time I peel an onion. Though I don't know when that will be. Hey. I'm just having a thought. You're there talking about peeling onions. Are you by any chance cooking dinner? Or are you just having me on with this onion lark? Well, I think we get all fed up with eating, don't we, after? Never tried and tested it, but heard it like that. Okay, yeah. Well, you know what I say. Anything is worth a try. Even if it's a silly thing, it's worth a try. You never know. A lot of things have been invented through people just trying out silly things. This is how it happens, isn't it? And we possibly wouldn't have had a lot of the stuff we've got today if people hadn't been willing to try anything out. Electricity springs to mind. How did they invent electricity? The American with the lightning rod when the thunderstorms were on. It's all coming back to me. Yes. That's right. Was it Benjamin Franklin, wasn't it? I think. Hmm. Oh, I really like the sound of that, Hans Paul. You're in the kitchen. Your success for the end of the year. Ah, that's good. Keep up the good work, is I think what is said. It just took you half a decade. Well, many things come to people, however long it takes. Yeah. So it's taken me many years. Get your coffee hydration. Yes, I might have to go and make myself one because goodness knows where my husband's gone. He's gone out with his friend. He has been working this morning, but then he's gone out with his friend. They usually go down to a place called West Bay. So if there's anybody around here who knows the place I'm talking about, who's in this area, and if it's windy and rainy, it's a hell of a place. A lot of sea, a lot of water. Whoa. A lot of seagulls too. Don't take a sandwich and sit and try and eat it because the seagulls will have it. I know the first time when my husband, he bought ice cream in the summer and he sat there with the ice cream in his hand on the bench and ooh, along comes a seagull. Ice cream gone. Yeah. There. Yeah. The pub. Yes, we've got a pub. Well, it's not a pub, it's a pub restaurant place right next door to us. We go there every Sunday for lunch. Not as many pubs in this area as there was. A lot of them, unfortunately, have closed down. And when I think back when my daughter was a teenager, then you had the discos, didn't you? And there was two or three of those around in the town that were very well thought of. They've all gone. At the moment, the town has not got a lot to offer. It's just they're digging up the road and the pavements everywhere. They reckon it's called a town centre refresh, and it's going to be super. And down the way, a little way, they're going to make, I think it's a fountain with some benches and trees. Hmm. Yeah, the restaurant food is getting expensive now. Um, the thing is, I mean, we don't get any. We don't get anything cheaper on where we go, but we know the man who runs it, so we go there. But we don't get discount from him or anything. Well, we don't expect it, and he comes to our place as well when he wants, and he always pays the full price to us as well. So got me, but yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, when you think when I was a youngster, I'm just trying to think of prices. Right, when I was a youngster, if you had a penny, a really old-fashioned penny, and a silver threepenny piece, you had a lot of money. And I was trying to think, the first house me and my husband went to look at to buy was £400. And even now I'm going back, we've been here over 30 years. Um, so if I add 17 years onto that, that's 40, that's nearly 50 years ago. Our first big house we bought was £80,000. And a few years back, the people that bought it off of us, they um, they put it up for sale for £250,000. I don't know what it would be worth now, but it would be for sure worth that now, because it was a nice house, detached on a corner plot with garden front and back, massive garden. So, yeah, no, yeah. Well, this is the problem, you see. This is what I think. What are we going to get in 2024? I mean, I can really get on my soapbox here and say, for us, at least in this country, we've had the same old government for, I think they said 13 years. And I cannot see that it's done us any good. It's taken away from places like our health service and even our travel services, even our local bus services for more elderly people that rely on it. And they've just taken money out of those areas all the time until there's nothing left. There's nothing left for it for any of us. It's it's quite bad actually. I feel it's quite bad in this country now to what it used to be. And of course, unfortunately, people have got to put their prices up because otherwise they can't. Yes, Hans Paul, you're right. You are absolutely right. And though I have nothing against our royal family, because I think particularly when we had our Queen, I think she did quite a good job for the UK. She worked very hard. But I am not a royalist. And I looked through a list on the computer last night about how much money people in the royal circle, not only the royal family, but distant cousins and people that have been married to distant cousins, how much money they had got when the Queen died. And it's millions. And I think to myself, so they like to live nicely. But I cannot agree with everybody having so much money and people are ordinary people, like they were saying back along, heat or eat. And people have lost their houses um, because of the mortgage rate going up. Ordinary families that, with kids. I think we need. Really? Yeah. Mm. Well, our old, I call him the old, our once president, ex Prime Minister B. Johnson, the money he is drawing in now, and even the woman, Theresa May, and then who was the other one before who was going to do God? I can't remember her name now. They're drawing in millions. In It just beats me. Why? Well, it is greed, isn't it? I was going to say, why do they want all this money? It is greed. They just take it and they sit on it. That's why I'm poor. My husband says we need to do the lottery and perhaps win 1 million or so. But I tell you what, if I won 1 million, within a week I'd be poor again because I'd just give it all away. I would think to myself, why do I need £1 million? Okay, so you have it if you've got children, that you will then give it to them. When you die, no. Give it to them when you're alive. Let them see them enjoying what you can give them. Our Prime Minister can't remember if he gave a bank. What? Well, yeah, this on. Well, you know, I've always said.
Jose Vega.
Oh, excuse me a minute. Oh, okay. I don't want. Yeah. What else did I say? Yeah, yeah. Both lots. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes, could do. Perhaps one. Yeah. I cannot think there is now. Possibly. I'm not using so much of it now at the moment. Okay. Oh right. Yeah. Okay. 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 Yeah. Okay. No, I can't think of anything. If I do in the next minute or two, I'll ring you up. Okay. Bye. Okay. Bye. Bye. Sorry about that. That's my husband at the supermarket with a shopping list. Honestly, I tell him what we want, he never remembers. Right, from weapons to can't make this up. No, like I was going to say, I've always said, any government official, any prime minister, any chancellor, anybody, they do not live on this planet. They really do not live on this planet. And years and years and years ago, I can remember the then Prime Minister Tony Blair was sitting in a conversation with people that they brought in from outside, what you would call ordinary people. And the ongoing thing then was, which it still is trying to get in to see your doctor at a surgery. And even then, that's quite a few years ago, he didn't believe it. And I thought to myself then, when I sat there listening to him, you're not on this planet, man. You're really not. And you don't know how ordinary people live. Incredible. But yeah, they probably are the same everywhere. And going back to your conversation there, weapons manufacturers, these are the people at the moment that are making money. I've always said as well, there's a lot of money to be made out of wars. Oh, they wouldn't know price of a ticket or an eggs or milk. Don't be silly. They wouldn't know that, would they? Honestly, they know nothing. They got everybody to do it for them. Yeah, they have. Well, it's about time, and I'm hoping that we will have a change of government here. I think we're going to have an election sometime in 2024, but whether the others will be, whoever gets in will be any better. Last drug test in German Bond, no. Well, you know, I mean, I'm lost for words, really. You know, about stuff. They're now trying to make a law about smoking. And they're saying now that, is it people, I'm not sure if it's 16 or 18 years old, they're trying to stop. I know for sure it's 16-year-olds buying cigarettes. They ain't going to stop that. How the hell can they stop that? They can stop the shops from selling, or the person behind the counter can say, no, I'm not selling you, you're not old enough. But there's always other people who will get them for them. Mm, yeah. There's, I mean, I don't know much about the drug scene, to be quite honest. All I do know is my daughter, her lad, she's got the two lads, and her lad, who she still got at home, was in a very bad way with a lot of things, and he was into drugs for a while. And she started up like a gathering of people, mothers and that, whose children were the same. But she said it's not a thankless task, but it's a very, very uphill task to try and get through. And, you know, it's said, isn't it? The only way to stop it is to stop the stuff coming into the countries. But again, you're not going to stop it. You're absolutely not going to stop it. It's like hitting your head up against a brick wall. It is all about money, Hans Paul. You're right. It's about money. Like you say, it goes back to greed, doesn't it? It goes back to greed. And when I think, back in the years and years ago, how I was and how I was brought up. I was an only child. We lived way out in the country, a house right out in the middle of fields. So I possibly had a very different upbringing to, obviously, to a lot of the kiddies that now live in towns and in these high-rise flats and everything. But I do wonder if the way I was brought up has given me a different outlook on a lot of things. The drug, I think the drug trade here in this town is quite bad. There's one or two places that I know myself, they will go to trade. And you can see them, and you can usually, I know you shouldn't sort of label people, but if you see somebody zooming through town in a high-end car, and it's a fairly young person in there, your first thought is he's trading, it's drugs. Yeah, but ruins a lot of lives as well. And these people, they don't care, though, do they? Like you say, it's money, money, money. They have money, they get the money, they are, wonder what they will be, how they will be living their lives when they're pensioners. Will they still be doing it? Is it so ingrained in them as a way of life that they will carry on doing it? Yeah, I mean, I don't think, I mean, another one of my little bugs is the fact that you don't see the police on the streets, not on our streets like you used to when I was a youngster. And my goodness me, when I was a youngster, the normal drug mill knows no other way. No, they don't. No, that's true, Hansful. I don't think they do. But honestly, when I was a youngster, well, a teenager, right? Myself and my friends, we lived in the town where I come from. There was nothing there. We had one cinema, a couple of pubs, a restaurant, hotel. We couldn't go in because we were teenagers. But yeah. And if we saw policemen, we used to have the policemen patrolling down through the high street every night. And we used to all congregate somewhere in the high street there, in a doorway or somewhere like that. Just stand and talk. If we saw the policeman coming, we would start shaking. And you would respect him for what he stood for. Not anymore. Well, the police. Yeah. I had my daughter had a bit of an incident once, nothing very heavy. And we went down to the police, and it was in connection with her ex-husband, and he was a policeman. And we went down, and my gosh, did they close ranks. They just were like, we were not even supposed to be in the office. Well, we weren't in the office, we were in the outside reception. What did we come for? Why did we come for? There was nothing wrong, you know? Ridiculous. Not so many of them now will help you, I don't think. I mean, even some time back along, with our place, though it hasn't happened, touch wood, for quite a few years now, we were robbed twice, and we had the shop window broken twice as well. And at that time, again, I'm going back over 30 years ago, they came and they sort of, noted it and everything. But now we have been told, if your shop window gets broken, don't bother to report it, because it's a minor matter. The police won't do anything. Yes, very much so. I mean, I do get really up about it to not see police on the streets patrolling, making sure they're not out there. I think they've cut our police force down so much now that they just haven't got the manpower. It's ridiculous. That, again, is the government. And that was our one-time Prime Minister, Theresa May. She cut the police force. She cut it to pieces. Yeah. This is it. See, Paul, Hans Paul, it makes you feel like you can't go to the police about anything, because they can intimidate you to the fact that you think that they're not on your side. Yeah. Even when I was working up in London in a shop in London. Yeah. Lived in very effort for a year, and yeah. I had 2 young lads. I was behind a counter. I had 2 young lads jump on me to rob the till. Well, I don't think they don't give a damn. No, they don't. I don't think that these 2 young lads expected me to react like I did. I was much younger then, mind you, by the way. Um, the one that got closest to me got grabbed by the throat here and stuffed against the wall. And I pushed on him and I pushed on him. I could have killed him, I think. He was choking. The other one ran away. They didn't expect reaction like that. Well, somebody called the police. So I held this lad by the neck up against the wall until the police came. And then when all the kerfuffle was over, I came, the manager of the shop came to me and said, the company does not prosecute. So if you want to prosecute, you have to do it yourself. There, and I thought, well, thank you very much for stopping a robber. What would you have done? What would I have done a second time around? I'd have stood back and I'd said, here's the till, take what you want. Why? It's ridiculous. Yeah. No, they don't. They don't. I tell you, everything is going to, what do they say? Hell in a handcart. They sure do. But this is why I feel, I mean, but yeah. Mm. Well, my husband had a bit of an altercation with somebody yesterday. I mean, I don't know whose fault it was. They worked for the landlord. Kickboxers Thomas wanted to increase rent. Well, this is another thing, that's happening, isn't it? There's rent increases everywhere, the same as mortgage repayments, electric repayments, gas, anything that people need. Do they really? They just drew off. Went back to sit in their nice warm office, I expect. Long as no physical damage. But surely that is an intent. Surely there was intent there. Oh, I'm sure. Very secure. Gosh. Blimey. Hmm. I mean, we used to have a thing called Neighbourhood Watch around. I don't know if they're still going or not. And there was one story, and I have seen photographs as well on my Facebook of this again is a little while ago going back. There was a man who used to dress up as a ninja, and he would go out at night patrolling the areas, the estates, the council houses, the places where people lived, and he would be all night patrolling to make sure that everybody was safe. I haven't heard about him since, but he was well known as the night ninja. But people shouldn't have to do that, should they? We should be able to rely on our politicians to look after us and our police to keep us safe. It's not happening. Absolutely not happening. So, we've just, a few months ago, Road School Gangsters are soon and bug there, yeah. We've just become great grandparents. My granddaughter's just had a little girl. And I sometimes think What is it going to be like for that little one? I don't know. Yeah, going back to school thingy, school gangsters and that. That's another thing as well. I've said a few times. Uh, we don't. Yeah, we don't. I saw the little one when she was 2 weeks old, but we don't get to see that side of the family very much. That's my son's lot. Um, Going back to school things, I've said quite a few times in the past when we've been sort of talking, my daughter and all of us, when we was at school. Remember when I was at school, you had a falling out with somebody, right? And your little gang, and it was their little gang, and you were towards each other, right? And that probably went on all the time while you were at school. When you went home and came back to school the next day, it was totally forgotten. Nowadays, people like to drag things over into the next day and the next day until it builds up and builds up into something quite nasty. That never happened when I was a youngster. Hmm. Hello, Callum. Callum the Fantastic. Yes, had a very nice Christmas, thank you. We didn't do a great deal, but kept in touch with a few family people. I hope you had a good Christmas too. And you know, I'm just chatting now and saying I hope 2024 will be a good year. We can but wait and see. Who knows? Not quite sure what's going to happen with everything. You know, but we look on the bright side of things and don't get downhearted as things went down. Yeah, Hans Paul. You know, it's something. Well, you know, that's what you got to think about. You shouldn't be. I think that is in the forefront of a lot of people's minds. I don't think we're going to have that good a time. But I cannot understand why people cannot live together peacefully. Even if you don't like somebody, you don't have to attack them. You don't have to kill them and everybody around them. I know some things that have been happening, excuse me, are not good. And I cannot 100% disagree with one side. If one side gets attacked, that they don't retaliate. But there's retaliation and retaliation. Yes. Well, you know, I mean, I don't know what again our government is doing behind the scenes with it, with all of it, with things. Um, Again, the thing I keep thinking of, we're only a small country. We haven't got finite resources of anything. So we like to help people if they're in trouble. I understand that. But I think that there is more thought of looking after others and leaving our own people behind. I don't think us here in this country get much at all in the way of help. So, well, you know, Hope should be in the forefront of everybody's thoughts. Well, it's back, isn't it? Oh, we the others, but yeah, I mean, I I know for a fact that the UK is not the UK even what it was like 20 years ago. And it's not getting any better. Yeah, well, this is it, isn't it? This is it exactly. I mean, we have had this is oh, let's move myself. We have had this thing with again the government. They wanted to do this magnificent railway thingy, HS2 it was called. And when they were talking about it, I don't know, was it probably about 10 years or so back, when they were showing where they wanted to put this railway and this train through, this high-speed train through the countryside, and it was going through people's property, and they were these really grand old houses that had been stood for perhaps 100 years, people living in them. They made them compulsorily sell them houses and move out after they were like a family heritage for years. And they made them go out of their houses. They demolished these houses. They've started this railroad through. Now the government have stopped it and said we can't afford it anymore. The price of it is going up and up and up. So we're not going to do it. And they've already spent millions on it. And they've turned people out of their houses and knocked down their houses and destroyed their homes. No, they're not going to do it anymore. And I can't remember where they said the money they put back was going to go to, but I don't think it was going to help ordinary folks. But what a blunder that was. What a load of money. What a load of money that's gone. Millions. They seem to be spending millions lately. And we ain't seeing none of it. Jesus. Terrible. Still, we are luckier than some. You know, we are much luckier than some. I mean, it's myself and my husband. I would like things to be better for the children. I think my son is okay. He's doing okay. My daughter, she struggles. She works hard and she struggles. But she's in a profession where I wouldn't have the patience she's got. At least she loves her work, and that is something. But she still struggles. So, but myself and my husband, we're not too bad. We have got this place here. It's not very big. And my husband still works. He shouldn't do now at his age, but he'd go crazy if he didn't work. He's a terrible workaholic. So I suppose we've got to be thankful, that we're not sitting on something that we might be turned out of any day because we can't pay our bills. But it's still hard sometimes. But there you go. I think I better go. I was only going to come on here and say Happy New Year to everyone. But it's nice to have a chat. It's nice to air our views. I sometimes think I can be a little bit too opinionated about things. So, oh, what does it matter? Hey, we've all got our opinions, we've all got our thoughts. And I think Hans Paul, where you are, does not seem in the main to be much different to what it is here. Really not. But perhaps your weather is better over there. Our weather over here at the moment is appalling, but at least we haven't got snow. Not that I would mind snow. I quite like snow. Is it rain? Well, I think I said earlier on, my daughter texted me, and she said she'd heard the weather was going to be horrendous tomorrow, so I wasn't to go out. So I had to go out now and do shopping for a couple of days so that at least we've got food to eat here. So I had to go out and do shopping again. You see, I do follow instructions sometimes. Otherwise, my daughter get a little bit. No, she's okay, actually. You got floods? Yeah, I mean, they've had floods in some area up in Scotland, and there was bad floods around just outside our district, I don't know, about a month or so ago. But we've got some quite low-lying land, and that is always known to flood very easily. But and I think somewhere had a tornado. I think that was sort of up in the middle of the country. I mean, we're getting weather now that we never ever had before. And I think there was, again, a little while back, there was sort of a mini earthquake thing. A tornado, yeah. Who would thought it? You should see the pictures. It hit just one part of this. I think it was. I'm trying to think what town it was, but on the outskirts of the town, you know, where all the estates and houses were, it hit just one part. The places they were showing, the roofs were off of the houses and the walls were down and everything. And then about a yard or two down the road, it was nothing. It didn't touch it at all. But they said it was a tornado. Yeah. Ridiculous, isn't it? Like I say, never used to get that sort of thing. Yeah. Used to get plenty of snow. Again, where I used to live was sort of up on the hill. I'm now down under the hill in another place. I've only moved about 15, 16 miles away from where I originally was, so I haven't moved very far. But it was up on the hill, and we used to get real snow. I remember as a youngster, I used to love it. We don't get snow down here. Haven't seen snow in years. No, Callum. No, we haven't. Not in this area. I think what happens in this town where I am, because we're under like the hilly part, if there's snow about, it all comes up on the top. By the time it gets down to us, it turns into rain. I mean, this place was always well known for having hardly any snow. I think back in 1960 something, or early 1970s, we had quite a bit of snow then. I can remember that. But I can't remember really having much. Not since then. I think it might have been a bit sort of like icy in that from time to time. But it's the rain. We've had quite a few heavy showers here today. And goodness knows, in the wind as well. Very, very windy a couple of days ago. Yeah. But so far, touch wood. Yeah. Yeah, it's been mad. Yeah, we've had we need a new roof actually on our place here. But we this time at the moment haven't had any water in. I mean, we did get sort of like temporary repairs done on it, but it needs doing properly. Anyway, stay of me, honestly. It's getting dark. Can you even believe behind me here how dark it's got? What is the time? Only 4, 20 to 5. I'm going to have to put some. There we go. Let's put one little light. I have to put some lights on. And does it? You wouldn't believe. I do tidy up around me, but I can't believe just for one person how I can make it so much in a mess within a day. It's unbelievable. I don't know where it all comes from. Really don't. But I can't be too tidy either. If I tidy things away, then I can't find them. But I'm beginning to get to the stage now where I can't even find things if I'm in a mess. Messy grandma. Yes. Yeah. The problem is, no, that's finance, Paul. The problem is this place is really too small. We could do with something a little bit bigger. But I keep complaining and saying the place is too small. I want more room. But what we need to do really is clear out a lot of stuff that we've got. I've only just think we are lucky enough to have a lot of storage. We've got storage out there. We've got like a sort of a backyard, and then we've got storage there as well. We've got massive storage rooms out the back. We've got one down, and then there's one up in a loft as well. And that's you. Well, you wouldn't believe it if you saw that. That is absolutely horrendous. The problem was when we moved here. We moved from a house. We moved from a 4-bedroomed house into this place, and within a week or two of us moving into here, my dad died. And this is something else I always say to people: don't try and keep all the stuff. Just find one or two little things and get rid of the rest. But no, I had to bring all his furniture, and he was in a 3-bedroomed house. I had to bring all his furniture. And like I say, it's just a good job we've got a lot of storage. But, my legs. But it's no good to keep stuff. The thing, do you know what? The things that I did throw away, for example, when I cleared out the kitchen, and, my mum's things like her pots and pans and stuff that she used to use. I did get rid of that. Now I feel sorry for getting rid of that, because I think, that was my mum's pots and pans, and she used to think they were great. And why are we so sentimental? No, I didn't get myself. Hands, Paul. Let me see. I will do here. Looky. I have got water, and I'm going to have a drink. How about that? That's right, Callum. True. Just excuse me a minute. Well, how about that? Oh, you will shut up now. No, it's me that's got to shut up. Honestly, I was only going to be on here a couple of minutes. I was going to just say Happy New Year to everyone. But I'm probably going to have to go in a minute, because I expect my husband to be back. And I really need to get up and put some lights on. Otherwise, he's going to be falling up the stairs. No, this is the thing, Callum. It's really, yeah. Happy New Year, Callum. The thing to do is not to sit and think about stuff, just look ahead. Don't look back. Don't look back. Back is life. Back is what has been. Give the green. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And everybody else. Absolutely. So perhaps I should go now, eh? As I say, perhaps a couple of things to do. And I know it's a bit early yet, but I have to start thinking about tea time. Go back to my air fryer. Try that again. I'm getting better with it to what I was. But there's certain things in it that it cooks really well, and there's other stuff that it's just rubbish. Yeah, I will spend a comment. Yeah. I sometimes think, Hans Paul, I'd be better to come on here and do this than I would at streaming, getting into any games. But it all passes the time, doesn't it? So I am. We're going to say cheerio now, okay? And I've had a drink of water. I actually will, I think, go and make myself a cup of coffee. But just put the bottle down. And what else? Put on some lights. And what else? What else? Shut the camera off. And, well, I could tidy up. But then what's the point? It'll only be messy again tomorrow. You know? It's what you say, leave it another day. God, I never used to be like this. I was awful when I was younger. Whoa. Wouldn't have lived like this at all. Never mind. That's another thing. That is not such a good topic of conversation. Do you think I could consider both? I should come on here and just start chatting again. Eh? Could have some chats. We could put the world to rights, couldn't we? Anyway, this is it. Serious now. I am going to switch it off. Do what you like to do. You goodbye, Callum. Have a nice coffee and a nice drink. Yes. Yeah. Bye. This is it now. Okay. Bye, Callum, Hans Paul. Thank you very much for coming along. I've had a really, really nice. How long has it been? I don't know how long I've been on here, but an hour. Oh my goodness me. Okay. So let me see. I'm going to press a button. I'm going to say cheerio. And you all have a nice evening. Have a nice new year. If you go to a party, be careful. You know what they say? If you can't be good, be careful. And I will be back again. Bye. That's it. Switch it off. Ay. Right. Where's my doodad? Right. It says here, and yeah. Off now.